The Saints just had their best draft since 2017, and Derek Carr is giving injury updates from church. Thomas, hit that intro.
Welcome to Saints Happy Hour Podcast. We never trade up.
If there was a path to give up 3 first-round picks to get Jaden Daniels, I would do it. And I would pick Jaden Daniels.
Now grab a drink and enjoy the show.
All right, everybody, welcome to another edition of Saints Happy Hour Podcast. As always, we are presented to you by Hard Hide Ponchatoula Strawberry Whiskey. I'm Ralph Marlborough. I'm joined by everybody tonight. I got Andrew, Dave, Kevin, Thomas running the show back in Poland. Hi to everybody in the chat tonight. See a ton of people with us because it's post-draft. Everyone's excited. I see Oppenheimer, Will D, Who Dat Golfer, your boy Alan, Jerry, Plan B, Lewis, Jason Champagne, just a crap ton of people. Thank you all for joining us. We always appreciate it. On tonight's show, we're going to recap the draft. New year, new Mickey Loomis. Favorite picks we hated. Derek Carr, he's giving injury updates during church. And we'll have a mailbag as always. If we reach $100, I will drink something horrible the patrons have sent me. Thomas, put that picture up of what Who Dat Rabbit sent me. I said to everybody he sent me a giant box of booze, but I needed to get my wife to take a picture of it to do it justice. Look,
my God. For those of you that are listening right now and not watching, you're not going to be able to see this picture. This is literally a picture of Ralph's face, and he looks deeply satisfied.
He looks like I love this picture. I love the look on his face. He looks like when he looks like an old time photo, and somebody was like had a large like book collection, and they were among all of their books in their giant library, and they were just the happiest person in the world. I don't know what it is, but yes, this is the least hostage photo you've ever taken. Yeah, and I don't think it's a coincidence.
Go ahead, finish.
And I don't think it's a coincidence that the best photo that's been ever taken of you is also
when you're surrounded by booze.
Correct, absolutely.
Yeah. Like if I were to caption this, the look on his face, it says, "Look, Ma, I made it."
That's right. That's right. It's a proud moment.
Yeah, I mean, like he looks like he's posing like in front of like a stack of just $1,000 bills. Yeah, like he's like a rapper who just hit it big, and he's like, yeah, "Can you believe? Yeah, look, mine.
He looks.
I'm taking us out of the mean streets, and I'm gonna buy us that big penthouse on Broadway." Yeah, I don't know.
Anyway, it's Ralph's face.
So who sent all this?
How many bottles is this, Ralph?
Who Dat Rabbit? Who Dat
Rabbit or Saints Rabbit?
Saints Rabbit. I'm sorry, Saints Rabbit.
How many bottles? How many bottles are in front of you?
He sent all of that.
I think my wife said it's 67 bottles.
Are you serious? Wait, and Saints Rabbit sent all of those?
Saints Rabbit sent all of it.
How much money do you make in the movie business? I guess that's a silly question. The movie business has a lot of money, but this is crazy. This is wild.
He's probably stealing those bottles from some celebrities.
Oh, you know what? No, this is from craft services. That's
exactly what it is.
Yeah,
nobody is touching that bullshit at craft services. So old Saints Rabbit comes by and he's like, "Hang on,
I'll have one of these.
I know what we can do with this."
That's what it is.
So I've got this from Saints Rabbit tonight. The drink.
It's like Ralph. I think part of it is because like he's leaning over the counter and his arms are folded. I think that's a big part of it. Yeah, it is. It's just the best. Do
you think?
I mean, put that at the funeral. At the funeral, I want that to be the photo next to the casket. I want this to be the photo that's next to the casket at the funeral, like in the middle of the wreath, in the middle of the flower wreath. Yeah. That's the photo that needs to be there. With the
deception! It looks like the author's picture on the back flap of the book jacket.
This is what it is. Thank you. That is exactly what it is. This is your author photograph. As you just wrote your greatest
my memoirs,
and this is it. This is the greatest thing I could possibly shit out. I've got nothing left. Don't expect any more writing from me. And it's done. This is all I have in the tank.
No.
my life's work.
It's a little Orson Welles, I guess, a little bit here.
I'll go one better. He looks like Lee Harvey Oswald holding the rifle that he ordered. It's that same, like, somewhat satisfied but empty stare into nothingness. Like, seriously, Tomas, if you can find, look, if I find and send you the Lee Harvey picture with the rifle, I need you to side by side this, okay?
There is no way that Ralph is this happy if the Saints win another Super Bowl. No way.
Yeah, really.
Thomas, how many weeks are we away from Only Hands again?
Quinn Early. We have a Quinn Early donation streak. And I don't know who was 15. Matt Flynn? Was Matt Flynn 15?
Yeah, 15. I don't know.
Matt Flynn weeks away.
Nice.
Yeah. So the booze tonight are double espresso, 80 proof. Andrew, I know you care about that. Cherry limeade, 99 proof. Ugh. And Malta boot of the mango habanero. If we get to 3. I'll do all 3.
Shuck them oysters.
And the scary part is Kevin said I had a lifeless stare. That's as good as I can look. I only have 2 looks, that or a hospital.
No, I disagree. I mean, maybe you have a lifeless stare, but that facial expression that you have, I think is way better than the normal bulgy eyes, caught in a headlight, I'm a hostage prisoner being held against my will look that you normally have.
Blink twice if you're safe.
Yes. Normally the photos that Selly, and like I don't know if Selly knows this, but you can take more than one photo at a time.
I really do look like Lee Harvey Oswald, and especially with the new short hair.
That was a great call, Kevin.
It really was. It is.
Yeah, Thomas just put Lee Harvey Oswald with the rifle and Ralph with the booze.
You're in good company, Ralph. You're in good company.
Make that my avatar.
You have bright future, Ralph.
Please don't. You might end up on a list, Ralph.
You're gonna throw a bottle at the president.
No, we can't be doing that.
So
only one of these men has a positive association with shots.
Very good.
Nice.
Well done.
All right, so
maybe
the Saints
just end the podcast with that one.
The Saints had a draft this weekend. Me and Kevin were excited. Listen to the recaps. Me and Kevin recap day 3. Me and Andrew recap day 2. Here's the thing. They didn't do any trade ups. That was delightful. But I'm gonna start here with this because the Shedeur thing kind of dominated the draft, and Saints Twitter and Kevin likes to say the intelligentsia was freaking out because they took Shuck over Shedeur. Shedeur fell to the 5th round. But here's the thing with Shedeur, and I had this information on Friday, but I didn't say it because I couldn't get it confirmed from another source. And I don't like to just break news if I have one source. I had it, and now I got it confirmed Saturday. So I'm going to tell you all this. Shedeur's meeting with the Saints at the Combine was so bad, the Saints cut it short and were like, we're done here. And on the flip side of that, Shuck's 30 visit with the Saints was so good because they gave him like homework and like stuff to do, and like he nailed it. After his visit to the Saints, they were like, Kellen Moore was like, he's my guy. That's who I want. And I'm just going to tell you, if you were hiring somebody for a job, any job, and one person nailed the interview and the other person gave you the double birds and you cut the interview short, who would you hire for that job, Dave?
Well, as somebody who does interview for jobs and does have to decide, I obviously...
Oh.
Uh-oh.
This is a setup. I would obviously... Sanders was ever... Like, I mean, call me crazy, but like...
I'm not going to call you crazy, but I am going to say that your audio sucks and your internet
frozen
sucks. Yeah. That's definitely terrible.
Can't hear you, Dave.
Yeah, Dave's dead on arrival. You want to go to Kevin?
I go to Kevin because Dave's frozen caveman lawyer.
All right, so restate the question. Like what is it about?
The question is, who would you hire?
Well, obviously, well, wow, Dave just did a fast forward thing, and now he's pausing, blinking a lot.
No, now I'm back. But there was like a freaking delay there, and I have no idea what got cut off and what didn't.
All of it got cut off.
All of it, Dave.
Great.
All of it.
Well, that's great. But I anyway, my point is that like I never expected Shedeur to be a first round pick. I think that was a little. I just can't imagine. I just think about the Saints. Like I think about the Saints. I think about Mickey Loomis. Like, would Mickey Loomis want to bring Shedeur Sanders and his father Deion Sanders and all that comes with that? Would he want to bring that on board and with this and have to deal with all that? Think about this. Let's talk about this. So I had this thought. Shedeur Sanders is like throwing a pass in the football. You know what they always say? When you throw a pass, when you throw the ball, there's 3 things that can happen, and 2 of them are bad. I feel the same way about Shedeur. There's 3 things that can happen, and 2 of them are bad. The 3 things that can happen are, 1, you draft him and he's great. Okay, that's the good one. The other one is you draft him and you don't. And then Deion complains about how he's not getting a chance, his son's not getting a chance, and causes a big stir and makes a big deal about everything. The third one is you do play him and he doesn't do well, and Deion makes a big deal because, he's not getting the right coaching or he's not getting the right opportunities or there's an issue with that, blah, blah, blah. And like, I don't know what I certainly don't think Mickey wants to deal with that, and the Saints want to deal with that. And I don't know any other teams that would want to deal with that. And look, the proof is always in the pudding. If he was that good, there's always a team. I mean, Deshaun Watson got signed by the Browns, and I know it's the Browns, and I know that's who took the. Maybe I'm making a bad point here, but like, if he was that good, there would be more than one team that would be willing to take a chance and put up with all the crap if they really thought that he was really that good. And I think what happened is, I just think he wasn't that good enough to be drafted in the first round. And then once he kind of fell, he just kept falling and falling. I think he's, and it also, like, the guy's only played for his father. He played for his father as a coach in high school. He played for his father at Jackson State. He plays for his father at Colorado. You know, like, I know, like, people want the players that are sons of coaches, but not in this extreme, not this way. They don't want sons of coaches who only played for their dad as the coach. Like, that's weird. That's freaking weird. I think that's a red flag. I none of it surprises me. I don't know how to bet on draft odds and like where players get drafted, but if I did, I certainly would have put money on Shedeur not getting drafted in the first round. I think that was crazy.
Andrew, I was surprised that he fell as far as he did, but it was really surprising to me.
You and Mel Kiper.
The information, yeah, Mel Kiper. Never doubt that Mel Kiper is the draft king. He dominated the weekend and reminded you why his opinion matters more than anyone else's. He is the king.
I think Jimmy Clausen started
tremendous television
again this weekend.
Tremendous television. But Andrew, my question is, so the Shedeur info that I got was surprising, that like the Saints like just were like, we're done here, just leave. We don't. But the other thing was like,
is that a true story? Is that a true story? Because I've heard that story about Shedeur and the Giants, about how like he went to the Giants and that meeting was terrible. And I was just listening to somebody else on Pardon My Take, and he was saying, I've talked to the Giants and I have never once heard that story. So I'm a little skeptical about some of these stories, if I'm being honest with you.
I got it from two Saints sources, and they the thing was, they said the Saints wanted to like get in the weeds with Shedeur. They wanted to like go on the whiteboard and like break some stuff down, and he just wasn't interested in doing it. And they were like, okay, I guess we're done. So, but Andrew, the more interesting thing was, Shuck apparently nailed his visit. And the Saints, like, I thought when he came for the visit, I was thinking it was because of the medicals, because all the injuries he had, and that was part of it. But like the Saints, like, gave him homework, and like, I guess they did an install with him, and like he blew him away. And like after that, like they were locked in, and it was just a question of how they were going to get him.
Yeah, So I heard that story too, that as the process unfolded, and Kellen Moore says this in his interview, but as the process unfolded, they started to like shuck more and more and more and more with each data point, right? And it was the exact opposite. I mean, the thing about Shedeur is, like, there's some stuff you can point to, like, and I think a lot of the quarterbacks besides Cam Ward have this problem. Like, no one was great at quarterback in this draft. So there's a lot of question marks, and you could point to Shedeur's arm strength. You could point to, his lack of size, his lack of ability to run, or, none of those things are elite. Like, they're good enough. But I don't think you can really say that, like, Shedeur's tape is bad. Like he had great stats, like he put up good numbers. And so I think Shedeur, from a tape standpoint, started at a pretty good place. But then you add the Deion stuff, and you add and here's the thing, like, it's not just your tape. These teams, they interview you, you go meet with them, you have dinner with them. And yes, especially with a quarterback and Kellen Moore, who's an offensive coach, he's going to get you in the film room. He wants to nerd out. He wants to watch film with you. He wants to run a play and be like, hey, what do you see here? What do you think? And my understanding, Ralph, I heard something very similar, is that like Shedeur wasn't really engaging with them on that. And it was super lackluster. And so, then you start to like the X factor of Deion and all this other stuff. And it's like, you start to like, the tape isn't enough to justify taking him in the second round, right? And every data point they were getting with Shuck was the exact opposite. Like you said, they sent him a ton of homework. He came completely prepared. He gave fantastic answers when they were grilling him on all this stuff. And so, like, you probably start at, and Shuck's got his own question marks, right? He's older. He's had some injuries. He hasn't put up the numbers at the college level like Shedeur has. So like there's holes you can poke in his resume too, but I think they probably started at a similar place in terms of the pros and cons. And then when you start to meet with them and you interview them and you do all these things, like there starts to be a pretty significant separation there with which guy you like more. And I mean, this is the last thing I'll say about Shedeur. When basically every NFL team tells you for 4 full rounds, like, nope, not dealing with this guy. The talent isn't good enough to justify all the other stuff. And this isn't a Saints thing. This is league-wide, right? And the next day, and I'm not going to name names and get into politicians, but it reminded me of like some people we see in politics these days, where it's just like a total lack of poise and just saying the wrong thing at the wrong time. For Deion to say, well, yeah, I'm going to meet with the Cleveland Browns because Shedeur takes a backseat to no QB. Like, for him to put that out there after his son has just been drafted in the 5th round, that is the most wild soundbite I have ever heard of. It's like, dude, he's already behind the 8 ball. They already drafted a guy ahead of him. So, like, I don't even know if Shedeur's making this team. And for you to say he's not taking a backseat to anyone, like, you're risking that if he doesn't make the Browns, that no one's going to make a waiver claim on him.
That's right.
I mean, that is, it's just crazy to me that Deion would have the lack of poise to put that out there. But I don't know. Anyway, Ralph, I don't know how deep you want to get into this, but you kind of explained it to me with what Bomani Jones said.
So here are my questions. How long did both meetings go? How long did the meeting with Shedeur go before it got
I don't have that details. I just know the Saints.
I heard it was short, Kevin.
Right, but so was it under a half an hour?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yes, because the
was it a case
interviews
was it a
at the
case
combine, I think, are 30 minutes each.
Right, but I'm talking the one where they asked him to diagnose the plays and he just said, nah, not interested, or
That's
just
it.
kind of like.
Like at the combine, you get 30 minutes with the player.
Okay, so then if that meeting is supposed to be 30 minutes, then was it under 15?
I mean,
these are the types of things that I'm interested in knowing.
It was 13 minutes and 47 seconds, Kevin. Are you happy?
I'm just trying to get a gauge of how
abrupt
long
it was.
that
But I
went
mean,
in comparison to Shuck's meeting. So then presumably Shuck's meeting went the full 30. They did what? They gave him homework at that one, and then when they had the personal team meeting, he comes back with the homework. Then they start doing this and that, and then they just fall. It's like
fall in love. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like a very nice meet cute at the at this and that.
Like you know anything about that.
Here's the thing, Kevin. Like that doesn't necessarily mean that Shedeur isn't going to be better than Shuck, right? Like
right.
It doesn't surprise me that a 26-year-old QB that's been in college football forever.
Wait. He's 26 or is he 25? Are you giving him extra
26
years?
I think he'll be 26 by the time.
27.
Oh, Jesus. Oh,
But
okay.
it doesn't surprise me that an older guy that's been in multiple systems has been a starting quarterback multiple places, had to learn different things with different coaches. It doesn't surprise me that he would nail that stuff and interview better. It doesn't surprise me that Shedeur would kind of drop the ball there. He's been coddled by his dad, like being his hype man since he's been in diapers. So like that part doesn't surprise me in as much. And it's possible that Shedeur ends up being better than Shuck. But I don't blame the Saints. Like if I'm in that room doing those interviews and I observe those two things, I'm taking the guy that nails the interview every time. And sometimes I get burned for that, maybe, but like that's still the way I go.
Here's something go ahead, Dave.
Well, I'm going to say, first of all, it annoys me that we're talking this long about fucking Shedeur, because, like, I think the whole fucking world needs to just fucking turn the page on this whole Shedeur.
Well, let's turn the page, then. We got plenty of things.
But I just want to say one thing. I just want to go back to the point I made earlier about how the kid has only been coached by his father in high school and two different colleges. I just want everybody to, like, think back on your own experience, whether that's you when you were a kid or maybe you coaching your kid. But if you ever saw a kid like playing little league baseball, and you ever saw, or like a 11 or 12-year-old, if you ever ran into a kid who only had his dad as a coach, like I think you can like all imagine, like that's probably like the snottiest, most annoying, like shittiest kid like ever. Like I just have to imagine, like, I don't know, I just real world examples here. For people to relate to, that's to me, that's what this is. This is like the
Here's the thing: if I'm the
professional version of that.
If I'm the Cleveland Browns, what I'm doing is I'm making a decision over the next several months and the first couple of preseason games. Meanwhile, I am leaking that Shedeur Sanders is showing up to meetings. He's diligent. He's on time. He's asking questions. He's working with the threes without complaining. He shows up and works with the twos.
That would be the smart thing to do.
Hear me out. And then I make a couple of phone calls and see if I can trade him for a 4th-round pick.
Here is a quote.
Who do you think starts for the Browns day one? I say Joe Flacco.
I agree. We need to move on from Shedeur, but we'll end it with this. Here's a quote that's on Outkick the Coverage right now from an assistant coach in the NFL. It was the worst formal interview I've ever been in my life.
Wow.
He's so entitled. He takes unnecessary sacks. He never plays on time. He has horrible body language. He blames teammates. But the biggest thing is he's not that good. I mean, and the whole league agrees, like 5th round, you know?
The Saints.
Oh, deception!
The Saints don't give a shuck about Sanders.
Oppenheimer! 20 bucks.
Put it on a t-shirt and sell it.
Interception.
That could
we are 60
By
bucks
the way,
away.
PSG beat Arsenal today. Just pointing that out.
Kevin, The Saints, I believe, had their best draft since 2017. And I believe it's because they had the best process since 2017. In 2017, Mickey Loomis refused to give Bill Belichick a premium pick for system points.
Deception! The last QB was Brian Brom from 2008 draft that had his dad coach him all his football career before NFL. Before that kinda was Todd Marinovich from the 90s. I can go on and on about those QBs.
Whoa.
I thought he was going to keep going. It's the longest.
Yeah, me too. Budrich
like
20 Buckaroo donation via Stream Elements. Best way to donate.
Thank you, Budrich.
But thank you, Butters. Stream Elements.
Thanks, buddy boy.
The mob doesn't get their cut if you use Stream Elements. But Kevin, I believe this is the Saints' best draft since 2017. They used all 9 picks.
Yeah.
And
first of all, this is for you to make that statement.
Yes, I'm saying it. The process was good.
Totally absurd because you have no idea how any of these guys are going to turn out. I agree with you that I love that they kept all their draft picks. They didn't trade up. They've got, what did they get? 8 guys? 9 guys?
9.
That's amazing.
9.
That's great. I agree with you on that part, but I mean, you can't compare it to 2017. You're comparing it to 2017 because all the draft picks in 2017 turned out great.
He's saying best since because they didn't trade up and they didn't trade up and they took all their picks. I mean, if you would like to offer a class since 2017.
I just thought he was picking 2017 because all the draft picks turned out great. That just happens to be a byproduct of. Kevin is trying to say that you're saying this is the best draft since 2017 just because of the process itself, just because the amount of draft picks.
That's right.
But no. 2017 was the last great Saints draft, was it not?
Yes. From a talent standpoint.
Thus Ralph is saying this was the best draft on paper since the 2017 draft.
Mm-hmm.
That's all he's saying.
Yeah.
That's all he's saying. He's not saying all of these guys are going to wind up being phenomenal. He's basically saying this is the best draft class because Mickey Loomis didn't shoot his dick off, and then Kellen Moore tied him up and threw him in a trunk in Lake Pontchartrain somewhere, where he would not bother anybody and make stupid mistakes. That's it.
Okay, I get it. I'm with you. That's fine. You can't argue with that. It's math.
I mean,
that's all I'm reading Ralph's thing is saying.
Right.
I'm just saying that the Saints, their actual talent evaluation has been pretty good. If you look at all their drafts, they usually hit about 50%. Even the 2021 draft that Peyton Turner was an abject disaster. They got Pete Werner, they got Paulson Adebo. That's 2 good players. But that draft, they only drafted 6 dudes. So like this draft, even if you hit on 30%, which would in theory be a bad draft, you might get 3 starters.
No. Ralph, look, me and Kevin, and I think Andrew would agree. Like we're not allowed to argue with you on that because I am on record. I have said, like, please, let's get as many picks as we can. Let's get as many bites at the apple. Like they're not all going to work out. So the more you get, the more chances you have at them, at this sticking to the wall. Thomas has them all pulled up here on the list here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 6, 7, 7. I have a question. So picks 2 and 3, Tyler Shuck. Now his name is spelled ends with an OUGH, and then we have the other guy. So is that Bruckton? Do we pronounce that Bruckton?
Broughton.
No, this doesn't make sense to me. See,
Shuckton.
Same spelling. I don't get it.
It should be Shuckton.
Yeah, it should be Shuck and then Bruckton.
I'm as excited about this draft as I was for 2017. I think this is going to be a great draft. I think this is the draft that's going to get the Saints out of the dark ages.
It very well may be.
Andrew,
Also, the fact that we have a new head coach.
Are you excited about this draft?
Hey, Tomas, check the timestamp on this.
Yeah, I mean, if I were to go like through the picks, I guess I'll start at the bottom. Like Diggs is interesting to me. Like he's a defensive end that has produced in college. He's explosive. He posted really good combine numbers. So that's like a 7th round pick that's interesting. I think the value with the 6th round pick getting Neal is tremendous. I mean, you have Clyde Edwards-Helaire, you have Kendre Miller as backups to Alvin Kamara now, but I think Neal's a guy that could come in and battle for a spot and surprise those guys. So I like that.
He's my favorite of them all.
Yeah, I like the value there. I like Stutzman. I think he's a linebacker that is pretty solid that, might be able to are we showing my mock draft right now? By the way, Tyler Shuck with pick number 40. I absolutely.
Who was your favorite, Ralph? Who did you say was your favorite?
Neal.
Oh yeah.
It looks like the guys that I picked in my mock and all ended up going earlier besides Shuck.
I've done.
Andrew, last time you predicted a Saints to pick with the pick that you chose was Trevor Penning, so you know.
Oh man.
I didn't say these guys would be good. I just predicted correctly.
He just said that we would take them, and if actually them being bad means they're more likely that the Saints will take them. The Shuck pick. I think like everybody, I think like all other Saints fans, I kind of did a little deep dive after he was taken, and did a little research, and everything I've been seeing post draft and even mid draft, like from Louis Riddick, who said like after the 1st round but before the 2nd round, he had great things to say about Shuck and to look out for him.
He loved the corner too from Louisville. Like Louis Riddick liked the Saints draft a lot.
Yeah. But McShay was a big Shuck fan. I really have not heard any bad. The only bad things that people say about Shuck is just his injury history, and then I think people put the caveat on it that his injuries have all been bone injuries, and that's to be expected. He's going to be 26. Osteoporosis is setting in. I think he just needs. I think now that the Saints have drafted him, I think if they just put him on a strong program of Ensure, I think he's going to be okay. So I love the pick. I love it.
I want to point out that my mock versus reality, the value of all my picks was very strong. Those players ended up going before I picked them. Dave here, look at these reaches. Xavier Watts, he
AI
40. Xavier Watts ends up going at 96. Jalen Royals picked at 71, ends up going 133. So I think this goes to show that Dave's ChatGPT draft is total dog shit.
Well, now wait a minute. No, you just skipped over though. Okay, wait. I had 4 picks, and 2 of them were bad, and 2 of them were good.
Grossly bad. Like
I picked Armand Membu at 9, and the Jets took him at 7. Okay, but
like 60 picks. That's like 2 rounds off, Dave.
Okay, and then I picked R.J. Harvey at 93, and he wound up getting picked by none other than our buddy Sean Payton in Denver at 60. So that's 23 higher. So you're
33, Dave.
33. Thank you. Even better. You're cherry picking here. You're cherry picking.
What?
Well, if you go back to mine, I
mean, you nailed 8. You got a player.
Thomas? How was
I like
Kevin's?
I like the open
I tell you what. You know what? Do me a favor, Tomas. If you could load Andrew's picks up there again, I want to see. Hang on, 97. 40, 96. I'm going to do some math here while we're looking at everything, and I'm going to figure out.
I didn't know we were doing this. Who set this up?
Like how
we do this every year.
Yeah.
If I knew we were doing this, we could have figured out the delta for each pick, and then figured out whose delta was higher overall for every pick.
I mean, let's look at Kevin's.
Okay, wait. Go back to Dave's.
All right, go to mine while Kevin does the math.
Go back to Dave's. I need to get the last one.
Oh man.
So
all right.
I was 66 picks off total.
Doesn't. Yeah.
All right, 93 and 60. Okay, and then you can show mine now.
Yeah, I was probably. I mean, I was like 50 picks off on Xavier Watson, like 60 picks off on.
4 picks though, and different spots.
That's true. That's true.
So
All right, here's
Not
Kevin.
all of his.
Oh wait,
Hold on.
Dave used a Tulane AI.
Tulane AI,
Nice.
Oppenheimer,
QB,
20
hold
Buckaroo
on.
interception. We are 20 bucks away.
Great, thank you. Thank
Kevin
you,
definitely got
Oppenheimer.
some great value for like all these guys he picked.
Yeah,
like,
he nailed.
much
Yeah,
earlier.
Yes, except for the first pick. So yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. Is like he had 5 picks, and 4 of them he got better value than were expected in real life. Also, Oppenheimer. I don't know if it makes you feel like donating anymore, but I played golf this morning with Coach Sumrall.
Kevin, who was your favorite?
He
pick?
told me how much he hates LSU. So
Kevin, what do you
feel free to donate away?
Who
I
was
just
your
want to point
favorite
out
pick the
Kevin
Saints made?
reached for a Falcons player. I just want to point that out though. In the first
You'll reach around for a Falcons.
What was you're asking me? Who was my favorite pick in the that the Saints made?
Yes.
I mean, I would say I'm going to say Devin Neal, and Danny Stutzman in that order. And then you know what? I'll have a bronze medalist. I'll go Kelvin Banks on that.
I was going to say Kelvin Banks. Thank you so much. You want to wave to everybody?
Kelvin,
Say hi to my daughter.
I know my draft list. Kevin will. I mean, Thomas will put mine up. I know mine is a disaster, but I named Cam Ward was 1-1. I had that one right.
Just fucking trade up to number 1, and you're gonna be right.
I mean, pretty.
Jack.
Holy
Beck,
shit! Actually, Ralph is gonna win this. Ralph got value on every one of his picks. He's gonna win this fucking thing.
God.
He is. Look at him. He picked somebody at 63 that ended up going 30. He picked somebody at 66 that ended up going 58, and he picked somebody at 93 that ended up going at 57.
Really, we all
my
did well except for Dave.
Yeah.
Here's
thanks
my
a lot.
question.
Mm-hmm. Wait till we get to undrafted free agents. Are we doing an undrafted free agent preview too? Are we going to talk about who we're looking at?
We'll get to that. We got to get to a prank, Dave. We got to get to Derek Carr doing injury news at church. We got a lot to get to.
Let's talk about
cutting out the
Shedeur
mailbag.
Sanders instead.
Well, that is the prank. We're talking about the prank.
That was prank. Before we get to the prank, I want to talk to people about something that never pranks you, and that's Hard Hide Ponchatoula Strawberry Whiskey. It is a strawberry flavored whiskey blended with aged wheat whiskey, American light whiskey, cocktail and Sons, strawberry and lemon syrup, fresh strawberries from Jonesdale Farm in Ponchatoula, Louisiana. It's 86 proof. The whiskey is blended and bottled at the Sugarfield Distillery in Gonzales, Louisiana. You can pick up a bottle wherever fine spirits are sold in Louisiana, Mississippi, Texas, and Tennessee. To learn more and to find a location to get a bottle near you, go to hardhidestrawberrywhiskey.com. Hard Hide Ponchatoula Strawberry Whiskey. They supported Saints Happy Hour all football season, all the way through the draft. So just support the people who support the show. Go to hardhidestrawberrywhiskey.com. Grab a bottle of Hard Hide Ponchatoula Strawberry Whiskey today. They've been amazing all football season. We love them. All right.
All right.
Good timing. All right. So what are we doing? Are we doing double espresso? Are we doing cherry limeade?
Chill out. You're always so fast with it, Ralph. Come on. Let it sink in. Let me change the graphic. Let me thank everyone who donated. We are 14 weeks to go. 90 weeks. Donation streak. We had so many last minute donations. Thanks to Jason Champagne for 12.83 tip with donation message. I hope Chuck burns Atlanta. And then Wendell Cavalier and Oppenheimer almost at the same time. $8 tip from Wendell Cavalier. $10 super chat from Oppenheimer with donation message. My Lord or Moonshine. Taking us over the edge.
All right, so here's the thing.
So drink.
All right, so what am I doing? I got espresso, I got habanero, and I got cherry limeade, 99 proof. What am I doing?
You guys can give suggestions. Oppenheimer is in the lead.
Yeah, I think Oppenheimer should pick.
Go Oppenheimer. What are we gonna?
Oppenheimer.
I'm gonna assume espresso. Ugh.
Oppenheimer trying to make it a 3 weeks in a row, by the way.
Well, yeah.
Here's a donation list. Next week, we're going to do the giveaway of Joe Horn.
Okay, while we wait for Oppenheimer's decision, Derek Carr decided to...
He had a press conference at church on Sunday.
He had a press conference at church.
That's the only way to explain it. I can't understand. I don't know what religion this is. I don't know what church this is. To be quite honest with you, I might convert to this religion if we're going to get guest speakers like Derek Carr on a random Sunday. That sounds like fun to me. I don't know what kind of, I don't know what church this is. I don't know what religion this is. I don't know what's going on. This is all very weird to me. Very weird.
Kevin, I have never in my life experienced a Saints
99 proof. Shut up and drink, man. People have spoken.
Oh,
people are restless.
Oh yeah, shit. He still hasn't taken a drink yet. Damn.
All right, let's put up.
Shut up and drink. While you're drinking, you should just play the video of Derek Carr's press conference.
He wanted to get away with it, man. You're not getting away with it, Ralph.
Here we go.
Here we go.
At night.
Right, that's a new one. That's new.
His face looks unpleasant.
Man, that was
a warhead. Was it sour?
That one tricked me, Dave. It kind of tasted like a warhead. Like at first I was like, oh, cherry limeade. This is Oh no, it's not. Oh, it's only an 8. But man, it
only an 8.
It's fairly low for Ralph.
Yeah, Ralph has just 2 ratings. An 8 and a 9.
Like a 6 or a 7.
Yeah. Let's go 7, Thomas.
Ralph has only 2 ratings, and if it was weak, it was an 8.
Yeah,
it was a 9.
right.
Man.
That's right.
2 ratings,
Kevin,
man.
Lame.
Who advised Derek Carr that giving injury updates at church? Who thought this was a good idea?
Yahweh. I mean, he's listening to a higher power, and I don't mean the Undertaker.
Well, we gotta also. I feel like I don't know.
A reading. Like Derek decided to go up and do a reading from the letter of Paul to the Thessalonians, and apparently,
no, I don't think that's. I don't think that's his religion. That's what I'm more familiar with. That's not what I was.
What do you think?
That's not what I was seeing up there.
I mean, I just like. Not to knock the man's religion. People believe what they want to believe, and if you walk the path, that's great. But like, what? Like, why are you? Off season to communicate with the Saints, which maybe he has, and like the fans. Like, this has to be he's the most frustrating, annoying Saints player that I've ever had the.
Now wait a minute. I want to bring up. There's also been news from Derek that while all this was going on, his wife had a miscarriage, and he had to take her to the hospital. And they were planning on having another child, and that was.
I think they said they were unaware she was.
They were unaware of it.
Correct. Correct. But my point. But like that is a tragedy, and like all of this is like. I'm not saying none of that is true. Like it's just crazy that like all of this stuff is coming out, and I don't know. I honestly don't know what to believe at this point. Like, are we to because Derek is saying he's been injured. There are rumors, people are putting forth the theory that he's been fine and he wanted
you back it up with a source?
My source is that I made it the fuck up and push all that money into guaranteed money. And as soon as that money became guaranteed, Derek has said, "You know what? Now I'm injured," and and it doesn't matter to him anymore because he's going to get that money. I have no. This is like all. This is becoming like, daytime. This is like the stories that your mom used to watch during the day.
My wife.
Yeah, your wife watches the stories. Yeah, that's right. We've talked about this. This is Days of Our Lives. This is General Hospital.
I did not. I always think like there's no way Derek Carr could be more unlikable and make Saints fans hate him more. And I'm like, he's reached the limit. And every time he proves me wrong.
Well, I think the frustrating thing for me is that like the core of what he's saying in that video is that like, yeah, I have a shoulder injury. I have the MRIs to prove it. I've been talking to the Saints the whole time. We're figuring it out. And also like part of the delay here is that I was just in the ER with my wife because we had like a family tragedy, a family emergency. I mean, let me preface by saying like, he doesn't owe us an explanation. He doesn't have to say anything, but in a world where like, I would think $100 million QBs would care about public perception. It just seems like Derek Carr has landed at this place of, well, you can't make everybody happy, so I'm just not going to bother trying. Like, I feel like ultimately that's where Derek Carr's at. He's like, yeah, you can't make everybody like you, so I'm just going to privately do my thing. And by the way, that's his right. Like, he doesn't owe me anything. He doesn't owe the fans anything in terms of just like giving explanations or whatever else. But all that being said, like in my heart, I just know there's a better way to do this. There's a better way to handle PR. There's a better way to approach things. And I feel like as a quarterback that's making this much, that's a starter in the league, you should have people advising you on the right way to frame things. I feel like he's botched things at every turn.
But what is the truth though? I mean, like that's a genuine question.
No one knows. We still
like you don't know. You really don't know.
No one knows.
Okay.
We don't know what's going on with his shoulder. Like, okay, Diana Rossini was basically saying it's fake. And now he's like, well, I have the MRIs to prove it. I'm injured. Okay, fine. Like, you're injured. Great. Like, so are you playing this year? Are you not playing this year? Like, what's going on? Like, when did you hurt it? Was it before or after the restructure? Like,
I don't, yeah. No,
we don't know anything.
I think one of the few things we do know is I feel like he hurt it on that one play, diving for that. I think
you think when he broke his hand, he also hurt his shoulder?
I think possibly. I mean, he came down on that thing rough. Like that was a crash landing on that play.
You guys are at the end of the season. Derek Carr was trying to play week 18. Like the last week of the season, he was doing everything he could. Remember, he had the hand injury. And
but I think shit has changed since then. I think the offseason. I think shit has soured since the end of since from week 18.
So when you say that, Dave, are you saying that like there's nothing wrong with his shoulder and it's purely personal?
I don't know what the truth is. The only thing here. Great question. That's actually a great question. I'm glad you asked that. I don't know what the truth is. What we all do know, though, is that the relationship between Carr and the Saints is completely fractured. I just don't know why, but I think it's very obvious that there is between Mickey and Derek. Just the things that Derek, the way that Mickey has, the way he's handled it in the press conferences these last couple of days, and the way obviously Derek is handling things and only talking. He first of all, I want to say like Derek knows that whatever the hell he's saying in this church thing, like he knows that's getting out there. Like,
I was gonna say
Derek isn't out here saying like, oh, I can't believe this church leaked that. I'm not going to call it a sermon.
That was my point, Kevin. The fact that
was
Derek
intentional.
Carr,
it was very intentional.
The fact that Derek Carr spoke about the ills of social media and caring what people think, while he knew everyone on earth was going to consume this via social media.
Yeah, hypocritical.
Makes me want to punch him.
A little
in the
hypocritical.
face.
Little. I agree with you. And also, I think
he's got his family members and anonymous Carr people defending him on social media, reaching out to Ralph, getting into it with him, and getting into it with other people, both publicly and privately. So lay off the social media stuff. Listen, man, I tell you what. Here's a pitch for you. Here's a pitch. I don't give two shits about you one way or the other. And yet, I will gladly be one of your PR. I might be the only guy on your PR team. I will gladly be your PR guy and say, this is stupid. Here's something you need to have an answer for. Here's something people are going to wonder and ask about. You need to have a response ready. You need to have something good to go. You're going to go out and chat it up in front of in front of the Lord and the congregation on Sunday. Okay, here's what the public are going to think about that. Here's what they're going to say. Oh, I don't care about that. No, you do care about that, because that's why you're going in there actually talking about your own shoulder injury instead of talking about, the Sermon on the Mount or the Beatitudes or the fishes or, Saul of Tarsus becoming Paul, whatever. Okay? You do care. You do care. That's your problem. That's your problem. You care, but you won't admit that you care. That's what bothers everybody, Derek. That's what bothers everybody. Have the goddamn courage of your own convictions to say, yes, I care. I wanted to come in and be the guy and be beloved. And you know what? I screwed it up and I didn't play well enough and people got on me about it and I didn't handle things well. And it just blew up. It spiraled out of control and it just fell apart. And you know what? I played a part in that. I have to accept some level of responsibility for that, and I have to be better. Isn't part of being a Christian taking self-accountability and saying, where can I get better? Where did I screw up? How can I be better at whatever it is? How can I be better moving forward? How can I make myself a better athlete, father, husband, person, whatever? Okay? Don't hide behind the good book, my friend, because trust me, there's people out there that know that thing better than you or know it good enough to call you on your bullshit. And then you got other people who are going to know that you're doing bullshit on this other with this shoulder injury, with whatever. If you've got MRIs, listen, free advice, man. If you've got the MRIs or the CAT scans or this or that, put one of them out.
You should have done it on an overhead projector.
Release one of them. Have a write out a thing. Have somebody look over it. Not somebody with the last name Carr.
I'll take him at his word there. I don't need an MRI to get posted.
No.
Yeah, that's falling into like this shit that he's talking about. Like, why should he have to do all that?
No, he should.
Because again, if I'm on this, if I'm running your PR for you, and you want to suddenly bring out you want to bring out the MRI thing, well then, guess what? You brought it up. You're going to have to produce it at some point. So you have to have the story of when did the shoulder injury happen? How did the recovery go? When did you find out this and that? What part did the MRI play into it? This and that. Here's what the recovery now looks like.
Am I going to have the information?
Have all of these things lined up that you can now suddenly answer instead of dragging this on like some kind of dilettante.
I think that's the issue,
Derek.
Yes, that's the issue. It's like, where are we going with this? Like, I find it weird that Derek Carr seems pissed off because the Saints just gave him $40 million. Like, I don't know.
That's the thing. I'm assuming he wants to be.
You could send with that.
I'm assuming he wants to be traded. I'm assuming he's got his money. He knows he's not going to play in New Orleans, so he wants to be traded so he can still compete.
I'm just saying, like,
that's what I'm assuming he's doing.
you're making $40 million and you're mad at the Saints. And like, by the way, Loomis and Kellen Moore both said if Derek's healthy, Derek's the starter. Like they're still saying that. So I'm at the point where it's like,
I don't know. Ralph always says, believe what they do, not what they say.
But like, what's going on here? Like, is he done? If he's done, fine. Like,
I think he's done. I thought we were all
just tell us he's done. If he's not done and he's going to be the starter this year, fine. Like, I'll get behind him. Like, let's give it the old college one more time.
Yeah, that was.
Like, you don't want Derek.
If he's hurt, fine. Like, just put him on IR. Tell us, like, give us a timetable. Like, I think what's really hard is it's like we don't know if he's mad and faking his injury. We don't know if he's mad and injured. We don't know if he's going to be fine and he's not mad. Like. What is honestly going on here?
And and I hate to even say this, but like it honestly, I don't question it, but it honestly, it could lead people to question. Like he's coming out with this whole story about the miscarriage. Like, I don't think that Derek Carr would do this, but like I could what if he's like making that up, or what if he's just like.
No. You want to? No. That's the thing. That's the thing.
I'm just saying, like,
I need a Diana Rossini podcast. That's
when somebody says something like, like that.
You'll never be able to prove that Derek Carr's wife had a miscarriage.
You want to believe that because the idea that somebody would lie about something like that is absolutely it feels beyond.
Here's my question.
I'm taking him at his word.
Here's the important question. How can he make this worse? What could Derek Carr do to make this situation worse?
I love that question. That's diabolical.
Throw a teammate under the bus is always a good one.
Drunk drive.
I got a couple, but I'm not saying any of them public. I'm not saying one of them publicly. I'm not, because I'm not wading into that nonsense.
I feel like
I'll tell you guys off air. Sorry to everybody else, but I'm only telling
the Catholic Church is probably involved.
I feel like we've reached rock bottom of Derek Carr hating. Like I don't think there's anywhere else to go. No. But every time I think that, we get a shovel and we go closer to China.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know how to transition away. I don't know how to do a transition from Derek Carr talking about injuries at church to Dave.
Yeah.
I know it made America mad and America got indignant and all offended, but that prank that the defensive coordinator for Atlanta's son pulled on Shedeur, as a prank, it was perfect. They called him and told him the Saints had drafted him. And it was diabolical and horrible, but it was also, as far as a prank goes, 100 out of 100.
Yeah. Look, I still have not actually. I was in the middle of texting you guys live on the show, and I have to admit I haven't actually watched the video, and I don't think I am going to watch the video. You know what? If there was nudity in it and it was a famous celebrity, I would definitely watch it. But this one, I'm not going to watch. It's because I actually do feel bad for Shedeur, even though he's, kind of like a golden spoon kind of kid, right? But I did not realize until later that I understood that there was a prank call and that it was from the Falcons GM's son, Jax, I believe his name was.
It was the worst prank. It was the worst prank the Falcons have been involved in since they tricked their fans to think that a 28-3 lead in the Super Bowl was going to hold up.
First of all, I guess my question is, do we believe that he acted alone and that he really did sneak and find his dad's iPad with all the information on it? Or do we?
When he calls and does the prank, if you've seen the video,
I have not seen the video.
There's other kids in the room.
No. I'm not saying no. I'm not. I guess my question is do we believe that there's any possibility that the dad, who is the general manager, could have been implicit in providing the phone number?
No,
I
Dave,
it was the general
Adam
manager.
Schefter explained it today. The NFL, what they do.
You should explain this to fans.
What the NFL does is
because Shedeur had this. What I do know is that Shedeur and a lot of people, they get separate phones just for this phone call.
Well,
it's not their normal phone number.
What normally happens is the NFL, for all players that are possibly going to get drafted, they upload into a portal or whatever all the players' agents, those phone numbers. So like the Saints, when they draft a player, they call the agent and they say, Dave, we just drafted your player. Can you give us his phone number?
Okay.
And we'll tell him that we're going to pick him.
Okay.
Right? And that's how it goes. But Shedeur didn't have an agent. So when the NFL uploaded the list for all the agents,
who's Shedeur's agent?
Phone number, because he's his own agent.
Well, so he does have an agent. It's his dad.
It's him. He's his own agent. That's how they got his number.
That's not
so the NFL, like all their safeguards to kind of avoid this.
No, but my point is like the story was like Jax, the son, found his father's iPad and went through the iPad and was able to extract the phone number and physically wrote it down. But my question is there any do any of you believe that the general manager of the Falcons was like implicit in this and saying like, hey, if you wanted to pull a prank on them,
I should have asked Andrew this, because Andrew is still friendly and has contact with Sean Payton's son, Connor.
Oh, Connor, right.
He's still a patron, by the way.
Right.
Thank Connor if you're listening.
Is he really?
Yeah, Andrew, I should have said to you, text Connor and be like, Connor, if you had done this, what would Sean Payton have done to you?
Oh my God!
I'll text him right now and ask him.
That's hilarious. That is
Connor,
a great question.
If you had prank called Shedeur when Sean was the coach of the Saints, like what would he have done to you? Would he have made you like publicly apologize at a press conference? Would he have caned you?
I think it would have been more in the line of caning for sure from Sean Payton.
What was that dude in the 90s, Kevin? They caned him in Taiwan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vandalized cars, they caned him. I think.
What was his name?
I think a good caning and 4 second-round picks taken away from the Falcons is.
Well, so anyway, I didn't realize when this first happened. I didn't realize that Jax pretended to be Mickey Loomis. So this is the best part of the whole thing.
That's right.
Is that Shedeur thought the Saints were going to draft him. And I only because I just feel like, and I think maybe it was Andrew on our text message, like this kind of just adds to the Saints Falcons, lore and drama, and it's just like another. I don't know. I love it. That's the Kevin. See, there you go.
That's what I said. I said
that's what I'm saying.
Perfect.
Yeah, no, that's what. I think it's. I think it's great, and I actually, what really I want to know also is like, what does Mickey think about it? Like, does Mickey get a laugh out of it? Like, does Mickey think it's funny?
Dave, I gotta say,
or is he like, oh, that's deplorable? That's
if the kid making the call would have been chewing gum, chef's kiss.
Mickey would have been all about it. Yeah.
But here's the thing, like,
sure would have been more believable if Jax.
A little part of me, Kevin. Wish it after I heard about the prank and that they faked being the Saints to Shedeur. Part of me, just a little tiny part of me, wish the Saints had drafted Shedeur, and Shedeur would have been like at the press conference, been like, "I promise Saints fans one thing. If there is one thing I do in my Saints career, Atlanta is going to pay for this prank phone call over and over again, and swore vengeance upon them." That would have been pretty cool. So a little part of me wishes the Saints had drafted Shedeur so he could swear vengeance on the Falcons.
So I texted you guys this when it was coming down, and I said it the other night in the Discord voice call thing that sometimes happens every week. I enjoyed this for what it was, simply because, as Dave said, it puts national spotlight on the Saints-Falcons rivalry. It rekindles, reignites, it restokes the flames, the passions between the two fan bases. So in a sense, I'm like, well, thank you, kid. Now, granted, you've mucked things up for your own team, and granted, your dad didn't get fired, but you're probably getting your ass nailed to the wall, and your dad will have something happen to him. The team is going to get penalized or punished in some capacity. So, thank you, but you're fucked. That's my big message.
2 thumbs up.
Andrew,
Andrew, by the way, Andrew mentioned Connor Payton. Like, I feel like the Saints got the better, our coach's kid got us Mark Ingram, and Atlanta's coach's kid got them in a lot of maybe a lost draft pick.
Yeah.
Here, Andrew, me and Kevin are big on vibes. For the draft we love vibes. I feel like Atlanta having their defensive coordinator's son prank call Shedeur and horrify America, plus going full Loomis and trading up for a defensive end that is a giant question mark and doesn't really love football. He's their own Marcus 2 first, literally. I feel like when you combine the prank call and the trade up, the vibes are very, very bad for Atlanta, and I suddenly feel very, very warm and fuzzy inside.
Yeah, I love that they don't have a first-round pick next year, and they took 2 defensive ends, basically, or 2 kind of like front 7 guys. And their defense sucks, so like I can't really blame them. But I don't know. These guys better be good, right? Because if they're not, Atlanta's in trouble. So yeah, it's always fun to laugh at the Falcons. Man, about the prank thing, man, like I really don't know how to feel. Like on some level, like it's almost, I'm with you. Like you want to tip the cap a little bit. Like, man, I wish we had done that. I wish we had pranked someone and said the Falcons are taking you. This is Arthur Smith or whatever. But also, like if you watch the videos, like you kind of feel terrible for Shedeur. Like it's just so messed up that kid did that to him. And I mean, it definitely crosses a line, and it's so unprofessional. And it's just like, I mean, that's a big time. Look, I have children. Like that's a big time teaching moment for that 21-year-old. And
he's 21. He's not a child like that.
I mean, listen, Ralph. When I was 21, I was 100% doing stupid stuff like that. And if my dad was the GM of a football team or a defensive coordinator of a football team, and I got a hold of some prospect's number and I decided that I didn't like that guy, would I have done that? That was 100% in the realm of possibility of something I would do.
And you would have been dumb enough to video it and let it be posted online?
I mean, no, I don't think so. But like, would I be the one in the back, like egging someone else on to do it? Probably.
This is happening. Lube up.
I'm just saying, like, I get why the kid did it because, like, I've been young and stupid too. I feel terrible for Shedeur because, like, it was already like a brutal day for him. But also, like, I hate the Falcons. It's kind of hilarious, and Shedeur seems like he kind of deserves it, maybe a little bit. I don't know how to feel, man. I'm all over the place.
Do we respect? I don't know. That was what I thought.
I don't know. I don't have a hot take here. I'm just like, I'm a mess.
Like my initial reaction was like, oh, I don't know. I think I respect the Falcons a little bit more for this. It was tough.
I know.
Oh.
Here's what I want to know. Did the kid use a voice modulator? Because how does a kid, like, how do you fool somebody into thinking you're some 60-something-year-old guy calling to say we're drafting you, kid. Like, I don't know.
I mean, the funny thing is that like Shedeur, he's like, hey man, it's Mickey Loomis, and Shedeur's just like, oh yeah, okay, what's going on? You know, like clearly he's not even thinking about what Mickey Loomis could or should sound like.
He wasn't even chewing gum.
Yeah, if anyone was pranking us, like you'd have to be like, Dave, Mickey Loomis here. You know, like we would be.
You got to sound like Burt Reynolds on Saturday Night Live.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I feel like we would call bullshit a mile away and be like, this isn't Mickey Loomis. Come on.
Whoa. What was that? Yeah. Was that Mickey Loomis?
Is that Mickey?
I feel like I could.
Yeah, I'll take Swords for 300. Yeah.
We don't like the player, so I don't know. Like I feel great about the Atlanta. And somebody said it's Ralph's new cat. No, we did not get a new cat. Will, we did not. So Thomas, before we get to the mailbag, give us a donation update. Minxie, we miss you. Give us a donation update, Thomas.
All right, so whoa! I was gonna say it's been a while since last donation, as a San Antonio Saint who showed up late gave us a $10 tip via Stream Elements with donation message. San Antonio Saint is back. I must send Ralph some nasty liquor shots. So we are less than $60 away, and Oppenheimer is still in the lead.
I'll do the coffee shot. I'll do it.
There's still time, yeah.
All right. So the Saints Happy Hour viewer questions are brought to you by Hard Hide, Ponchatoula, and Strawberry Whiskey. You can pick up a bottle wherever fine spirits are sold in Louisiana, Mississippi, Texas, and Tennessee. To learn more and to find a location to get a bottle near you, go to hardhidestrawberrywhiskey.com. If you buy the Hard Hide Strawberry Whiskey, post it on social, tag them, tag us, because it lets them know that the people who support the show support them. All right, Thomas, take it to the top. Gotta do finger guns.
Roger that.
What's first up, Thomas?
All right, so many questions. Like, it was very hard to choose questions, so forgive me, guys, if I didn't choose
yours. We didn't do a mailbag
last
last week. We got to catch up. We'll get to them all. Don't worry.
That's right. How many of us would it take to beat a gorilla?
Yeah, first question.
That needs to be on the mailbag.
All right, first question from the reigning, defending, undisputed MVP, Oppenheimer, and also MVP leader for this show, current MVP leader. He asks, whoa, Dave. Oppenheimer asks, how many rounds of the draft did Kellen Moore have Loomis tied up in a broom closet to avoid trade-ups?
I've already got the answer.
All of them.
No. That's the trick. That's the thing. As soon as Kellen Moore realized that Mickey was not going to trade up and allow the pick to happen at 40, and once Kellen Moore knew that he got shook, he decided, all right, hey, Mickey, I want to show you this really nice thing. Take a walk with me. And then decided to hog tie him and shove him down a flight of stairs somewhere inside of a trunk.
I think Andrew, they at least had to have him tied up from pick 9 to pick 32, at the very least, in the room closet.
Fair.
I like this.
I mean, that to me was the biggest victory of the whole draft. I was convinced.
No trading.
From the intel that I had and from what you had and what I read on the internet, I was convinced that the Saints were going to trade up into the back half of the first round for Shuck, and they didn't. So there we go. Thomas, what's next?
Okay,
this is not just Mickey, by the way. I mean, Jeff Ireland is heavily involved. So I feel like Jeff Ireland gets a big pass in all of this. All of our podcasts, all of our discussions, we've always mentioned Mickey. We're mentioning Kellen. None of us are really mentioning Ireland.
Might be Ireland. It's or him
Michael
all along.
Michael
I was going to ask Ralph where do you think Randy Mueller fits into the picture? Because We know that before joining the Saints as a consultant, he was all in on Fuaga last year.
Right.
He was like, he's the best offensive lineman in the draft by far. Yeah. He's my number one tackle. Then he joins the Saints as a consultant. They end up taking him. We also know that Mueller was very big on Shuck, and the Saints ended up taking him. Now, I think that was probably more Kellen Moore's guy than Randy Mueller, but I'm just curious, like, do you think he was banging the table for Calvin Banks? How much input do you think he has?
I mean, I think he has a ton, and that's my argument again on Saints Twitter. That was my argument with people, is they were saying, listen, the Saints drafts have been terrible. They haven't, they picked Penning, they picked Ruiz. These offensive linemen are bad. I don't like them. And my whole argument was, yes, that was correct.
Oh, deception! Mickey and Jeff were doing shots of Malort during the draft.
Arkmich, 28.3 interception, best
Did we get there? Is that enough?
No, we are.
No.
We are $25 away.
$31, right?
31, sorry.
Thank you, Arkmich. Arkmich, donate the rest. Get us there. Maybe you can overtake Oppenheimer. And I
feel better about the Saints drafting since Mickey Loomis brought Randy Mueller back. I feel a lot better about it. I don't know his influence. I don't know how much he has, Andrew, but I feel better about it because I know, like last year when the Saints hired him as a consultant, I was like, oh, that's cool. He still worked for The Athletic all the way through the draft. I listened to all his draft podcasts with Mike Sando. And Fuaga, he liked Rattler, although I'll disclose information. Randy Mueller, he DM'd me on Twitter, and he's like, yeah, I really liked Rattler, but that really wasn't me. But I like the pick. So, like, he's been heavily involved in what's going on with the Saints, and I like it, like, because I think Randy Mueller has a great freaking track record, and his track record for quarterbacks is very good in the NFL, too. This
is a serious question. What about, do you think that Gruden is helping at all?
No.
God, I hope not.
Okay.
Gruden
was Gruden do
a QB school thing with Shuck?
Well, no, but that's totally different. I'm just asking, like, whether, like, I guess Gruden had some kind of relationship with Dennis Allen, or
I don't know.
Whatever. So is that dead? Is that gone?
I think so.
Is that what we're saying?
It was Carr. It was DA.
We're calling that. We're officially announcing that here live on the Saints Happy Hour podcast. Gruden is no longer
he's with the Sea Monkeys,
an unofficial member of the
Sea Monkeys in Italy.
The Sea Monkeys. Oh, okay.
Yeah, the Sea.
Well, I see him on my social media, and he keeps getting packages from colleges. He keeps getting swag packages from colleges.
I want swag from colleges.
Yeah, Tulane sent him one.
What's next?
Tulane sent him one.
All right, next question from Aldi Marino. He asks, since the Saints are never going to trade down in a meaningful way while Kevin lives, is this the dating equivalent of getting friend-zoned?
Oh, wow, that's pretty funny.
I think whatever is worse than being friend-zoned, that's what's going on with Kevin and the Saints right now.
Yeah, maybe.
We need to think of an example that's worse.
An example that's worse.
Ghosted.
No, I think an example that's worse would be, like, maybe you hook up once and then just to get a taste, and then you never hook up again. Is that like?
Or like, no. I think it's like would be worse. Would be like you think you're going on another date with them, but they just want you to like cook them and their boyfriend dinner, or.
Holy shit!
Yeah. That's yes, correct. Right, like you show up to the date, but you're not actually on the date.
Or you think it's like a date, and you're like, we're going to paint my house.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
That's that.
Yeah. Grab a pail.
Coming with
Kevin, what's your thoughts on this?
Yeah. With a no. Coming with a no.
What is my what?
What are your thoughts on this question?
Also, while we're on the subject, I feel like this is a natural time where we could get a love update. I mean, can we play the music? Can we play the love update music? Keep going. Just keep going.
Yeah.
Be slow.
So
this is an audio format.
I appreciate Aldi Marine.
Yeah, thanks, Greg.
I was waiting for Ralph, man.
Oh, my
I thought
God.
Ralph wanted to play the real
because
thing.
Ralph's going to touch something.
Right. All right. Anyway, no update.
I appreciate Aldi Marino saying. I love the added in a meaningful way while Kevin lives. Like as soon as I whenever once I'm dead, the Saints will immediately trade down and start operating.
No, no. What I took from that is that once you're dead, all the drafts have no meaning.
Maybe, yeah. That's what I took too, Dave.
That's how I took it.
Well,
Sorry,
thank you. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Well, shit. Then I guess you guys better hope I live to be 100.
Yes, right.
And that I don't just get randomly abducted.
Have you seen a doctor lately?
Yes. Yeah.
Make sure you lock that front door, Kevin.
Not in an unofficial capacity. Oh no,
right.
no! I checked. Right. Look, I've been checking the door ever since.
Back door, I think, is the one you need to make sure it's locked.
The back door is locked.
As he turns over his shoulder.
The front door is locked. I'm secured. I'm secured. Yeah. Wait. Can you pull the question up again, Tomas? I'm so out of sorts now. I appreciate it. I can. What is the never going to trade that? See, it's not so much getting friend zoned. It's basically hearing Mickey say, well, we had a couple of chances that we thought about, but the player went ahead of us.
That's like basically a girl telling you it's not me. It's not you. It's me.
Right. It's not you. It's either it's not you. It's me. It's either it's not you, it's me, or if I wasn't doing this, I could totally see myself if I was really, it's like suddenly, they're not single. Oh, you would make a great boyfriend, right. Blah blah blah, that kind of stuff.
Letting you down easy.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right. So it's not even friend zoned. It's just frustration. That's it. That's all I got.
Blue balls?
Yeah, roughly, yeah.
There you go. We could have just bundled that. We could have bundled all of that into just blue.
So, Tomas, what you got for us?
Next question, by the way, guys. $31 away. Come on. Next question. Saints Rabbit asks, a longer one. With Carr's first public words since the injury announcement coming with anger and threats to show MRI images, is he teetering on becoming locker room poison? And if you think so, should the Saints keep him away regardless of playability?
I mean, I think we kind of discussed this earlier. It is cancer, to be honest with you. I don't see Derek Carr playing.
Is Dave clipping for you guys too? His audio.
Why is that quality so terrible? It does not sound like that on my phone.
I don't.
You have bragged about your internet for a long time. Your internet sucks, buddy.
No, it does suck. No, my internet.
I
don't
know if it's my internet. I remember you talking about how you were getting these lines buried underground or whatever.
No, they didn't. You know what? Honestly, I have AT&T fiber, but unfortunately they don't bury the lines. I don't know why, because we're in New Orleans and a hurricane can knock that shit out if you don't bury it. But I think I'm beginning to think the culprit is my computer. It took me a long time. You weren't here. You were late. But it took me a little while for my computer to boot up. I think it might be my computer. I might go buy a new laptop just specifically for this, because I really don't use my laptop for much else. But going back to the original question from our listener, Saints Rabbit, we kind of talked about this already. It is a little he I don't. Jesus, I don't know. I really don't know.
I don't think there's a problem with Carr in the locker room.
I'm still
as
not
much
sure I
as
follow.
there's a problem.
I think there is. I think there would. I think there would. I think there would be. I honestly
it's way
think
worse
there would
with him and the fan base.
I don't think you're ever going to see
him and his teammates. I think it's worse with the fan base.
I don't think Carr was ever going to be a quarterback for them.
But I just think full stop. Like it's time to move on. It's time to move on from Derek Carr.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think Carr is. I think you've seen the last pass Carr has thrown for the Saints.
I think the fans, like they're a little bit. Some of the fans are not so hot on Shuck yet, but I think once Derek Carr gets put on IR, and it's clear that it's Shuck or Rattler, I think people are going to get behind him.
By the way, I want to go on record like they drafted Shuck. That's great. I don't necessarily. I've heard great. I honestly like my overall feelings on Shuck are very positive. Like from most of what I've heard about Shuck is very positive. I feel like I've heard a lot of things about how he's the second best quarterback in this draft. About how he, I like his age. I love the fact that he's a little bit older. That's more mature. I think that's valuable. But I don't. If Shuck isn't the guy, I'm not going to be that upset. Like I didn't think that we were going to go after our guy now. Like I am okay with like if Shuck's not the guy now. Again, we only spent the second round pick on him. I think we can go after another guy next year if we want. Like
Kevin,
really,
I have a critical question,
and that might be the plan.
I have a critical question. Is this?
I'm not locked into Shuck.
Is this a winning idea? You Shuck me all night long, cups and t-shirts.
There's a lot that can be. I mean, we could go all day with this. You could go Shuck yourself. I mean, like really, this is all.
Shuck the Falcons.
You can shut the. You can shuck the fuck. You can shuck the. You can shut the.
Shut the fuck.
Oh, it's a interception!
Alrighty then, let's just drink to Carr now.
There we go. All right, there we go. No, I think from a marketing standpoint,
It's getting out over the edge and becoming the new MVP leader.
Yes, let's go. We do not want Oppenheimer to donate any more money. No, I think Shuck is no. I'm serious. No, don't donate anymore. I think Shuck is like a dream for the Saints marketing and social media staff. I think there's a lot you can do with that.
You got shucked. All right, so I'm gonna do mango habanero.
I mean, like they're thinking about like, I guarantee you the Saints marketing staff is already thinking about how they're great Shuck and Acme Oyster House or Drago's or whoever is the official sponsor of
Drago.
They're already it's already in the works. I promise.
Bidding war like you've never seen.
Oh, seriously. But I promise you, it's coming. It's coming.
I mean, I think
shucking and oysters.
I think you got
happening.
I mean, I think Shuck doing like the Drago's oyster. You just print money. So here we go. Speaking of printing money,
I'm an Acme guy myself. I'm going to support Acme.
Mango habanero, Kevin. Look at
Mike Rodriguez. He's a member of Metairie.
That is a lot of booze.
Yeah, that is.
Enjoy that.
Deep breath. Just shot it back.
Ooh, that hit.
Ugly face. Balled up his fist.
It just, man. That mango habanero.
Takes a sip of the hard hide.
It does not. It does not fool around, and it's just gross too. It's just like it's not. It doesn't have any mango flavor. It just has like heat.
Okay, give me a number.
It's a 7. It's just annoying because it just lingers. It like lingers in your throat. But it's only a 7.
Only
I might
7?
tear it up. Maybe.
Okay, so we adjusted the previous one to a 7, and Ralph says this one was a 7. Okay.
I don't know.
All right.
I feel like maybe maybe instead of me grading it, y'all should grade it off of my reaction. And if I
no, because then you can overdo it. So we prefer you giving the number, and then we can judge if you're just overdoing it, and reduce it by a point. Like that's we can be that extra layer of protection.
Here's a question, Andrew. Here's a question, Andrew, because for Kevin too. The Saints have never really had a good rookie quarterback in their history. Like even Archie, like as a rookie, wasn't that good. So like they've never had a rookie quarterback be even decent in their history.
I'm trying to think who is the best rookie quarterback we've ever had.
Dave Wilson?
Yeah, that's probably the answer.
I mean, like
Mike Buck.
No.
Werfel?
No, Werfel was good the second year. His first year, he was pretty dreadful. We have to look at it. It's pretty. I mean, like the bar is really
low.
Is
very low. Yeah.
Saints legend Ian Book.
By the way, the off-season bracket is tentatively. Somebody said off-season shots bracket. Aldi Marino. The summer bracket tentatively is going to be Mickey Loomis's bad ideas, and that includes things that he's done and things that he wanted to do. So
most of them are probably things he didn't want to do, or that he did want to do that he never actually did.
Up there for sure.
Yeah.
Like trade for Deshaun Watson, trade for system corner. Like he's got a lot of ideas that were terrible that didn't come to fruition because God loves him. So Thomas, what's next?
What are you? Final question. What is Andrew drinking? Is he drinking something?
Is it
he's just holding a soccer ball? What is that? What is going on?
Yeah,
that's a football, man.
It's a pressure ball?
Yeah. It's like
okay. All right. Okay.
What's next, Thomas?
Final question of the show. Why is the QB pronounced Shock? It is clearly not spelled anything like that. Please help this immigrant understand.
Yeah, we've already been
an immigrant. Whoa.
We've already complained about this.
An immigrant. You better go behind.
Maxi Huda, don't mention that. We might have
you better go.
ICE or something listening. We don't want anything to happen to you.
Why? I have no idea. I was surprised to learn that myself. I don't get it. Yeah, I don't.
I called him Show for like
What is his background?
At least 3 weeks into the draft season.
So what is his heritage? What is his heritage?
Well,
you went with Show. You went with this. Yeah. Okay. Well, I see. Why did you go with? You went with Show, and you went with the L silent.
I think Show is like the first kind of past guess that I had at that. Yeah.
There's an L in there, right?
No, it's SHOUGH.
Yeah, Show. Yeah, no Show. I think
you have it behind you, Ralph.
I think it's German.
Even
that's
Shug,
what she said.
Even Shug, where the the H is silent, would have made more sense to me than Shuck.
No, I've never. I am like a quarter German. My ancestors, on my father's mother's side, they're German. Bauman,
like Oppenheimer
family. Like geez, we have a lot in common. Me and Oppenheimer. Wow. Yeah, Bauman. We're Baumans on my father's mother's side, and I got to admit though that's I don't know much about the German side. I'm an Italian guy, and but I've never once. I had no idea. OUGH. I've never once seen that pronounced with the hard like CK, like a.
Does the name make you more? Does the name make you believe in him more or less, Kevin?
Less.
Less, really?
Yeah.
Let's go. All right, let's do this. Okay. Real quick. You don't get to say anything. One word answer. Is Tyler Shuck the franchise quarterback for the Saints? Ralph, go.
Yes.
Oh, I'll say yes.
I'll say no.
Okay, Andrew.
Week 1.
No, franchise.
Is he that? You're right. Like Dave's not even offering an explanation. The question is just
franchise. Like this is the guy that this is. We're rolling with this guy. Like I guess let me clarify. Like this season and
ever.
He's getting a second contract from the Saints.
No,
he's the guy.
No.
Dude.
We asked it in a better way.
You're right. You're fucking right. You are absolutely fucking right.
Thank you, Andrew.
Thank you, Andrew. I do have two different questions, so I'm going to go with the one though. Is he the starting quarterback week 1, 2025?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
I'll say yes. Okay. All right.
And he's going to be the quarterback in 2030.
You really think that? You really think that?
Connor wrote me back. He just wrote me back. He said that he had the same convo with friends, and he said it would not be good. He said the Pete tweet was enough controversy for me.
Wait, which tweet? Which tweet? I'm sorry.
I don't know. Do we know what the Pete thing was? I just asked him what was the Pete thing.
He leaked the fact that they drafted Pete.
Oh, got it. But he said honestly, just a terrible position for the coach. Talk during one of the worst slides ever, and then he said, "I don't think I would ever be in a war room ever again after that."
Right. Okay. Fair enough. So he's in war rooms now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's on the Broncos scouting staff. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, the Broncos. Oh, that's a surprise.
Yep.
The funny thing though with that, like Atlanta, like they're not like media. Like Sean Payton would if Connor had done that, like Sean Payton would address it, and it would have been. I'd feel bad for Connor, but it would be delightful to have like Sean Payton have had to address that and been like explain to the world like what he was going to do to Connor. I'm a terrible person. I mean, it just would have been fun.
I mean, he'd be eyeballing the hell out of every reporter asking him a question.
Yeah, Connor, if you're listening, I hope you're not mad at me for putting your text out there to me.
I forgot about him. I forgot about him breaking the Pete news.
There was nothing. I don't think there was anything untoward about that,
or nothing wrong at all. No,
I had forgot about Pete. That was amazing. So anyway, guys, thanks for joining us. It's amazing. Thomas, recap all the donations were amazing tonight. Recap it all for us, Thomas.
There for a second, I thought you forgot about the recap.
Wait, did we get? Did he drink 2 drinks?
Yeah.
Oh,
it's hitting me.
Cool.
Yeah, we hit 2 donation goals. Great job, tons of generosity. Thanks, guys. As you can see, we are on a 90 now donation week streak. We have 14 weeks to go from Ralph opening his sexy only hands account. Thanks to Wendell Cavalier, to San Antonio Saint, to Jason Champagne, to Badrich, to Who That Golfer, to Oppenheimer,
90.
And to the MVP, I think for the first time ever, who is the one and only Archmage. Congratulations!
Archmage, DM Thomas. You can get your whiteboards
slide into Thomas.
You can be
DMs,
in charge of the whiteboard. Yes, Oppenheimer. I know you sent us the message late. I didn't get it on this week. I just did my own. Shuck them oysters. But Oppenheimer, you'll get yours, and then this week's winner can do it. DM Thomas.
Archmage, you're on the list.
Wow, Oppenheimer got outspent and outbid. What a poor little piece of bitch.
Jesus, Dave. Dave and Oppenheimer, their rivalry is going into uncomfortable places.
This is becoming like Saints Falcons level.
Yeah,
we need a boxing match on the live show.
Oppenheimer Mercedes.
Oppenheimer's going to prank call Dave's kid and say, hey, I'm going to pick you up from school this afternoon, and then not be there.
Yeah, exactly.
Oppenheimer, if you want to prank call Dave, there is an amount of money you could donate.
Oppenheimer is going to call Dave.
I know a guy who can give you his phone number.
Hey, I've got a music contract for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I hope that
I want to sign you.
I hope that I feel like there's like a strong possibility that I already know who Oppenheimer is, or like he's already in my life. But if he really isn't, I honestly, if Oppenheimer ever really did show himself in person in real life, I would do nothing honestly but hug him and kiss him and thank him. And I know I give him shit, but come on, he's a big supporter. We love him.
Tulane still sucks.
Yeah. How was Tulane baseball? 10 seconds, Dave. How was Tulane baseball doing?
We at least went 2 out of 3 over ECU last weekend. I don't remember if we swept the series or not, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how Tulane baseball is, because every season for the last 2 years we go in the tournament and we win the tournament. We just win the tournament. Doesn't matter. Everybody gets in the tournament, we win the tournament.
So
doesn't matter.
You best come hard.
Thanks to everybody for watching. And I want to thank we had 6 signups over the draft weekend, new people signing up for different levels, and it was amazing. Thanks for supporting the show. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed the show and we made you laugh, consider supporting the show by going to patreon.com/SaintsHappyHour and signing up like a bunch of people did over draft day weekend. Give us a shot. Every little bit helps make the show a little bit better. And don't forget to follow us on socials, wherever you get your podcast. Thanks to everybody for helping us set incredible records over the draft weekend. Downloads and views. We love you guys. Thanks a bunch. Thanks to Dave, Andrew, Kevin, and Tomas, the best producer on earth, running the show back in Poland. Until next time, the bar is closed.